I feel like out of all the girls, Kishimoto failed Hinata the most. And in my opinion, Hinata should have been written a lot more like Maki. Allow me to explain. Now, I'm not bashing Hinata or anything like that. Like, that's not my intentions whatsoever. But y'all cannot deny that Maki and Hinata, they're pretty similar. I mean, think about it. They both have younger siblings, they are both considered failures, they are both from powerful and notable clans, and they both have colored hair. But here's one key difference I want to point out to y'all. While Hinata kinda accepted things as they were and gave up, Maki did not. And she challenged everyone's perception of her. And I really wish that Hinata would have done the same as well. Now the story is that Hinata was too kind to really go anywhere, and that's why she was regarded as a failure within the clan. Hinata basically accepted it, kept it pushing, married Naruto, birthed him 2 kids, and is happily ever after. And she didn't really bat an eye. Meanwhile, Maki, who I got to say is my favorite JJK girl, she defied her clan's expectations of her and still became a Jujutsu sorcerer. In season 1, I think she's a 4th grade sorcerer, but I think she's strong enough to take down 2nd grade curses, if I'm remembering that correctly. So basically, in Maki's case, her rank basically does not match her strength. But the whole reason as to why Maki's clan doesn't really care about Maki and deems Maki to be a failure is because Maki is unable to see curses. And in order to combat that, she uses cursed tools, which isn't bad. I mean, instead of laying down and taking what everyone thought of her, Maki found a workaround instead of giving up. And I love how Maki has something to prove. Like, if I have to be honest, there are 2 types of characters I appreciate above all. That's characters that still find a way to make things work when the odds are against them, and characters that have to put in hard work. Maki is literally both of these types of characters, and I think that's why she's my favorite JJK girl. I mean, all of the JJK women are peak, but Maki stands out to me a little bit more. And something else that kind of makes Maki even more likable and even more interesting is the dynamic that she has with her twin sister, Mai, who is also considered somewhat of a failure. Now, what I find interesting personally is that Mai was fine doing grunt work around their living quarters and content with being a failure. She didn't really seem like she wanted to challenge it, and I think as long as Mai had Maki beside her, Mai was going to be fine and content. But when Maki sought to challenge how things were, Mai felt like she was forced to become a Jujutsu sorcerer as well, and despised her older sister for this. Now, y'all may say otherwise, but I feel like it's kind of harsh to say despise. I kind of feel like Mai was just hurt, and she was disappointed, and more importantly, Mai probably felt like she was left behind, so I could imagine she probably even felt betrayed. But I genuinely don't think Mai seriously despises Maki. I just think Mai is probably frustrated above all and is kind of coping in her own way. And I like how Mai basically feels one way about it and you see her kind of destroyed and feeling really bad about it. Like it seemed to really destroy her. Whereas with Maki on the other hand, Maki doesn't seem to feel too bothered or feel one way or the other about it. Like in her head, Maki is going to do what she has to do regardless and she wants to prove them wrong. So to me, it's kind of nice seeing how both of them feel because they feel completely different ways and I like that. I actually wish they kind of did that in Naruto with Hinata and her younger sibling, but with Hinata's younger sister, Hanabi, she wasn't really regarded as a failure, so that's another difference here as far as the sibling dynamic with Maki and Mai and Hinata and her sister. Maybe their dynamic would have been different if they were twins like Maki and Mai. I mean, whatever the case may be, I wish that their story had a lot more layers to it, and I wish that we got to see more inside their head about this matter within the Hyuga clan. Hinata definitely would have been an unstoppable character if she had the same drive as Maki. I could be wrong when I say this, but I genuinely feel like no one dislikes any JJK women, or bare minimum dislikes Maki. Maki is a very respectable character, she's admirable, a lot of people look up to her, and she's exactly what I would want to see in a female character in anime. Like, she's literally the perfect example of what I want to see. Not to mention, she is extremely resilient, and not only has her clan basically regarded her as this failure, and she's trying to disprove that and she's trying to challenge that, but she's also fighting against them because they are actively and continuously trying to interfere in her becoming a successful jujutsu sorcerer. So I don't know about y'all, but that kind of has me thinking, if you really think someone is that much of a failure, why are you trying so hard to block them and interfere with what they're trying to do for themselves? Like, one thing about me personally, I love seeing characters going through trials and tribulations and challenges that are going to force them to grow or adapt. And I love seeing that in male characters, and I especially love seeing that in female characters, because oftentimes it kind of seems like some anime tend to struggle with it. However, I will say I am very curious to see where this path of hers takes her, because I think at one point Maki says she want to become the head of the Zenin clan, or is it the Zenin? I don't know, I hear either or sometimes when I watch other people's videos. But anyway, Maki says she want to become the head of her clan, and if she manages to do that, she can really structure, like change the whole structure of her clan. And that's kind of what I wanted for Hinata to do. Anyway, I kind of ended up fangirling over Maki just a little bit towards the end of this video. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop some comments down below. How do y'all feel about Maki? How do you feel about Hinata? Do you feel like Hinata is perfect as is? Do you actually not like Maki? I'm curious to hear everyone's thoughts. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the love and support. Sierra Nova is out.